Flash, did you see the news?
Uh-oh.
Kotaku,
Oh, yeah, they're
Geo
getting
Media
sued.
are getting sued by, of all people, the former CEO, head chief of Activision, Bobby Kotick, who, by the way, was a phenomenal actor in the movie Moneyball. If you've ever seen Moneyball, he's the owner of the Oakland A's in that movie, and he does an excellent job. Just want to point that out. With that said, would think whatever you want to think about him, but I think that he's suing Geo Media as he files a defamation suit against the media outlets over discrimination comments, which is yoicks. Before we get into this story here, Flash, Kotaku has been wavering the last few years. They hired the new managing editor, the new head cheese over there to kind of right the ship after people were gone. They were talking about shifting to guides and such, and all the writers were given one last chance to kind of make things right. At a certain point,
did Alyssa write any of these articles?
Well, we're going to get to that. I don't know. Maybe we need to do a little digging on this.
Thought she was proud of her vetted and accurate work.
That's right. But at a certain point, if you're Geo Media, when do you just cut the cord and be like, it's not even fucking worth it anymore, right? Just to shut this shit down or try to sell it. Like, we got to be approaching that area, right? Where it's just not even worth dealing with all the bullshit when it comes to the brand of Kotaku anymore.
I hope this shuts them down.
Well, we'll see. Bobby Kotick, the former CEO of Activision Blizzard, has filed a suit in Delaware against Geo Media, naming Kotaku and Gizmodo specifically. The suit complains that both outlets attempted to smear Kotick by going out of their way to besmirch his name by mentioning false, withdrawn allegations over discrimination and workplace harassment. It was claimed by Kotick that articles were penned with the, quote, malicious purposes of causing further harm, end quote, to his name, which was at the time already considered tarnished. The Delaware suit filed by Bobby Kotick is pretty basic on the surface, but details the complaint were obtained and published by the Courthouse News Service on March 13th. The complaint from Kotick reads, I know I've said his name like 3 times differently. That's okay. Neither article had anything to do with Activision. Both were about rumors that Kotick were interested in buying TikTok, yet Kotaku and Gizmodo went out of their way to issue withdrawn false allegations relating to workplace issues, which Geo Media knew had been conclusively disproven by numerous investigations, purely for the malicious purposes of causing further harm to Kotick. The articles in question were reports published by Kotaku and Gizmodo about the claim that Bobby Kotick was part of a cabal looking to acquire TikTok in the United States. For reference, I also covered these claims, but I neglected to insult the man or bring up his troubled past at Activision Blizzard, aside from mentioning what employees were saying about him on social media. But that's probably why I'm not being sued. Courthouse News Service noted that Kotaku and Gizmodo updated their articles to remove more negative terminology, but Kotick insists that as a general rule, they're still mischaracterizing him and he's seeking damages. Stay tuned to see how this unfolds. Ooh, wow. So, first and foremost, defamation is a serious thing. It's funny because we know there's another journalist from Kotaku that is suing Smash for defamation for the things that he said. And this is an expensive process to go to court. I mean, you've seen Smash raised $60+ grand for his legal defense against former Kotaku writer Alyssa Mercante. I think we need to learn a little bit more about specifically those articles. Blabs, can you actually do a quick Google search for this? Search Kotaku, TikTok, Bobby Kotick, please, and see what you can find about this, and see if we can find those specific articles. And see
he's gonna have a hard time though, regardless of what they did, because he's a public figure.
I don't know.
It's extremely hard to get anything against a public figure. You can pretty much say whatever you want about them, especially like if they're a politician.
Yeah, if you're a politician, but he's not a politician, and that's the thing about it. He is he's a CEO. And at what point,
He's
like,
still a public figure.
what point does a CEO become like I'm technically a CEO of a company, but so is the guy who runs the bakery down the street. Does that make them a public figure as well? I mean, I don't know where the line is when you become
Nobody
a
knows who
public
some
figure.
guy that runs a mom and pop shop down the street is.
Yeah.
I can't really find anything yet. All I'm seeing is when I like search this, it's just YouTube videos after YouTube videos.
Right, right. You wonder if they maybe pulled the article, you know. It's interesting to see. But this is one of those situations where I think that Geo Media is going to look at this, and if they get out of this unscathed, which they won't get out of it unscathed because this stuff still costs money to have a legal defense, no matter what. Even just answering this, the fact that this was filed, like if you're a lawyer, you don't file a lawsuit without the idea that you at least have some sort of case. I mean, I've seen lawyers and like, yeah, it's not even worth pursuing, right? Most lawyers, lawyers they have their language that they speak, but if it's going to waste their time, they don't want to do it. So somebody felt that there was enough here to at least pursue, and maybe they settle out of court. Maybe they pay him a bunch of money for this. But I don't think that if you're Bobby Kotick, why would you do this just to settle out of court? It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. You clearly were offended. And by the way, you clearly, if you are filing this lawsuit, you can prove that there's been some sort of opportunity that passed you by, or some sort of financial, something financial that didn't happen because you're damaged to your reputation. I mean, that's the whole idea behind, ruined opportunities for you. I don't know, Flash. Do you feel like, I don't know, what do you think the timeline is on Kotaku first and foremost, and do you think that anything will come of this at all?
No, I don't think anything will come from it.
You don't think so?
No. I think it's funny, though. It's always funny to see Kotaku get shit. I still think Kotaku shuts down by the end of the year at the latest.
They're
fucked, dude. They only have like 5 people working for them right now, right? It's like a very small number of staff that they have now.
All right, I have this article here from actually just about 1 year ago. And this is from, here we go. Former Activision boss is on Kotaku. Bobby Kotick wants to buy TikTok. Report. Kotick is also looking for partners right here. So I'm guessing this would have to be the article.
Wait, what did that say at the top? At the top, they're looking for partners.
Yeah. So.
Oh, okay, never mind. I thought you said Kotaku is looking for partners.
No. TikTok has been scrutinized for years, blah, blah, blah. And we remember when this happened, when this was going down. The whole there was a lot of issues with TikTok. And by the way, TikTok was going to be banned, then it wasn't. And I don't think we've even heard anything about that since Trump has been in office, and he kind of reversed the ban on that. But yeah, it's kind of interesting. Kotick departed from Activision Blizzard late last year after completing the publisher's $68 billion sale from Microsoft. Kotick's tenure at Activision Blizzard spanned decades and came under fire in 2021 when the state of California filed a lawsuit following an investigation into the company's alleged misogynistic workplace culture, as well as allegations of rampant sexual misconduct and discrimination. California's Civil Rights Department settled with Activision Blizzard in December 2023 for $54 million to resolve allegations that Activision Blizzard discriminated against women in the company, including by denying promotion opportunities and paying them less than men for doing substantially similar work. Activision Blizzard agreed to take steps to help ensure fair pay. Yeah, like all this stuff has nothing to do with this story, like at all.
Well, it's under his so he was the head of the company, so they're implying that this is all his fault.
Yes, there's implication here. You're 100% right.
That's not enough, though. I'm not a lawyer, but I don't believe that's enough.
Let's see. Oh, here we go. Here, the article.
Oh, yeah. You need the archived version of this because they edited it.
Yes, this article has been updated to include. Yeah, okay, that was the issue here. It was updated to include settlements because they didn't include this whole line here about the settlement. They just had all the way up to here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. All right. That's pretty fucked up, and I can see why he'd be pissed off about that. Even if they went back and revised it. So, wow. Well, we'll see what happens with Kotaku. I think we all are kind of fingers crossed about what's going on with them. But you never know till you know when it comes to Kotaku, and that's kind of where we're at with all that. So, good luck, Bobby, with your lawsuit. We're all rooting for you, buddy.
Never forget that Kotaku has an article about the best types of butt plugs to play Animal Crossing to.
That is
never forget.
Definitely one of the highlights.
Luke Plunkett.
Sure. Yes, Luke Plunkett, formerly of Destructoid. Remember Destructoid? Are they still around? Destructoid. Let's see.
That's a name I haven't heard in some time.
All right, there, Obi-Wan.
They were huge for a long time. Oh my gosh, they might as well be dead. Look at this. Let's see. Disable. I'm not going to disable my ad blocker. Screw you. Here we go. Look at this. Look at the comments on their articles. 0 comments. 0 comments. 4, 1.
Not even a Dragon Ball article got any comments. Wow, look at that.
That's I know the guy who launched Destructoid, Nero, a long time ago when Destructoid was like the king. They were up there with Kotaku and before Polygon existed and such. And man, to see how they have fallen. He sold their company. You know who he sold their company to? That fucking Canadian company that didn't hire me because I was white. That's who he sold it to. So pretty crazy, man. Pretty crazy. Anyways, rest in peace, Destructoid. Rest in peace, Kotaku. We'll see what happens.